So video surfaced recently of a 13-year-old black girl beating up a 14-year-old white girl over some sort of dispute. The white girl had a 3-year-old child on her lap. It wasn't her child. She didn't have a baby when she was 11, thankfully. Although this did happen in Texas, I believe, so wouldn't have been that strange if she had. But, no, it was her niece, I believe. Anyway, we're not here to really talk about the incident. Obviously, I condemn the attacker and sympathize with the victims and all that bullshit. What I really want to talk about are these comments that I've read online in reaction to this video.
Tell me again why this isn't a hate crime. You know damn well if the attacker was white, it would be.
No. Bullshit. It's not a hate crime unless the crime is racially motivated. Just because a white person attacks a black person, that doesn't mean it's a hate crime. And that's not how it's categorized. It's not just, well, white person attacked black person, obviously racism. No, I mean, sure, there are some people out there who immediately jump to that conclusion, but you really have no room to condemn them because that's exactly what you're fucking doing.
White lives matter.
And then someone else added,
not really anymore, only blacks and LGBTQ.
Yeah, because that's been America's attitude for quite a while now. A white person dies and America collectively just looks and says, hey, were they gay? Were they transgender? No, they're just heterosexual white person? Oh, well, then who gives a shit? One less fucking honky in the world. Is that really the attitude that you guys have seen in this country? Because I gotta be honest with you, I haven't really detected that as of yet. Maybe I just need to open my eyes a little wider. Or maybe I need to put on the crazy glasses. Ooh, now I see what you're talking about. White people persecuted everywhere.
When the video was posted on InfoWars, this thing went viral. My wife and I were shocked to see such hideous behavior. This girl should be locked up until she's 18 and put on probation for at least another 10 years. I don't believe she can be trusted to act like a human being.
Well, while this girl was very violent and definitely deserves to do some jail time, I don't think she needs to go to jail until she's 18, and I certainly don't think she requires another 10 years of probation. This is still a 13-year-old and a 14-year-old getting into a fight at school. I mean, I saw kids get into fights at school that were every bit as vicious as this one. None of them went to jail until they were 18 years old. Hell, I saw a guy beat the shit out of another guy way worse than what you see in this video, and he was only suspended for 15 days. He didn't even go to fucking jail, although maybe he should have. But certainly no one deserves to go to jail until they're 18 because they did something stupid when they were 13. Unless that something stupid was, murder, which it wasn't in this case, so...
Take away her mother's welfare, food stamps, and Section 8.
Welcome to post-racial America, where racism is dead and just a thing of the past. I mean, come on, this guy is assuming that just because this girl is black, that her mom's on welfare, food stamps, and Section 8. First of all, there's nothing shameful about needing that sort of assistance. There's plenty of people who use it. Many of them are white. In fact, there are more white people on welfare than black people, but of course there are more white people in America. But still, it has nothing to do with race. But this guy disagrees.
Race was definitely an element. The blacks were gathered around to watch because they knew it was going to happen. And I'll bet the house that the camera operator is black and knew the attack was coming and is a friend of the attacker. Who viciously sneak attacks a woman while they're holding a 3-year-old kid? A predatory animal. Make no mistake, folks. Far too many blacks have this predatory mentality and their favorite prey are whites. I also think the political left in this country has blood on its hands in terms of race-based attacks on whites perpetrated by blacks.
First of all, this was not a woman with a child in her arms that was just being attacked out of nowhere. These were two schoolmates who had a previously existing dispute about what I do not know, I do not care. But as far as this narrative you're trying to push of black people are just these animals with this predatory instinct and their favorite prey is the white man! Ooh! Blackie coming to get ya! Ooh! No, we'll look at murder statistics. 83% of white victims were killed by white offenders. 90% of black victims were killed by black offenders. 14% of white victims were killed by black offenders, and 7.6% of black victims were killed by white offenders. So what does this tell you? It tells you that normally when a white person is murdered, it's by another fucking white person. Normally when a black person is murdered, it's by another fucking black person. So most violence is not interracial, it's intraracial. And I wish those words had a more dramatic pronunciation difference, but, they don't, so fuck it. We got one more. I held up 2 fingers. We got one more.
Blacks systematically attacking white people like this is actually part of the black supremacy doctrine. Principle number 1 of the doctrine states, harass all white people. The doctrine has actually been in full force since compulsory integration was created in 1964. The purpose of the doctrine is to drive white people out of what they built, own, occupy. And then it all becomes black, e.g. homes, neighborhoods, schools, jobs, political systems. White people are going to need to get up to speed on this thing. Virtually all blacks are in on most of the principles of this filthy supremacy doctrine.
This has fucking 13 thumbs up. There was 13 people that read this fucking gibberish and said, you know what? Yeah, that's true. That is fucking true. I mean, first of all, he says blacks systematically attacking white people. What was systematic about this? If there was reports from this school that the black students were just picking off the white students one by one, that would be, wow, there's systematic racial violence going on at this school. But this is one black girl attacking one white girl. That's what happened. There was nothing systematic. And you honestly believe that there's actually this doctrine that all black people just follow, and the fucking core principle of it is, fuck white people. And I love your revisionist history of black people somehow driving white people out of their neighborhoods and their schools and their houses and their communities because through harassment. That's not what happened at all. Black people simply wanted to become integrated with white communities, but then all the white people left because they were racist assholes like you. So come the fuck on. Obviously, I don't endorse what this girl did in any way, shape, or form. I think she's a piece of shit. But she's not a piece of shit because she's black or because this is hate crime or any of that stupid nonsense. She's a piece of shit because she's just a violent piece of shit. There are many white violent pieces of shit, Asian violent pieces of shit, Latino violent pieces of shit, and so on and fucking so forth. And you should know that. These are fucking adults making these comments. These are people who've actually been around and seen the world a little bit. And they still think this way. How could they be so dense and so stupid? I'm the Amazing Atheist. Peace the fuck out.